Hey, 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 and welcome back to the Fully Booked Photographer podcast. And we are so excited because we are just 1 week out from Imaging USA 2024, all the way in Louisville, Kentucky. And apart from doing the Bourbon tour, we're Bourbon tour even. We're very, very.
That's a Bourbon tour.
a Bourbon it can be a biscuit or it can be a sweet, I think. Biscuit. But anyway, we won't get derailed on that. So the Bourbon tour, we are excited to be going to Imaging USA and meeting all you guys. But for our listeners, whether this is your first photographic conference or it's your second or your third or your fourth, you've been a long time goer, Janine is going to share some tips that she's got over the generations of going to photographic conferences. Janine, tell us,
how did my generations? God, he made me sound very old. Thanks, Ronan. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so I love attending Imaging USA. This will be my 24th year going. I love it. I think it's a great event to go to, and it's different depending on where you are in your career as far as attending trade shows. But there's a couple of things that I've learned over the years, and I have learned myself, I've learned with my friends, I've learned from others, some tips and tricks just to keep in mind as you attend Imaging USA or any of the other fabulous trade shows and conferences and workshops that are coming up in the future. So things to keep in mind, there's different reasons to attend, depending on, like I said, where you are in your career or in your life. You can be attending a show like this because you want to reconnect with your friends. And maybe you only get to see your fellow photography friends a couple times a year, and Imaging USA is one of those times. That's fantastic. It's great to connect and have that community and that solidarity with other people in your profession. So you can brainstorm ideas and talk and chat. And I love that as a reason for attending, especially, at nighttime when you get together for dinner and hang out, or maybe for coffee in the morning before or after everything starts happening. Because that's, to me, a lot of where the real ideas come from. Everybody's attended workshops all day. They've attended trade shows all day. And then we get together for dinner or a drink, and you're just sitting around like, so Ronan, what did you learn today? Like, what are you going to take back and implement? And then you start talking and the real ideas come out, because you start brainstorming like, that's a great idea, but how would you actually implement that? Well, I would do, and you just start kind of chit-chatting, and that's where ideas really start to take place that are unique to you and how you can use them in your studio. And so it can be overwhelming though. And I know a lot of people go to these bigger trade shows or workshops and just come back overwhelmed. They've thought they've learned so many things. They've heard so many speakers. They've seen so many new ideas, and they don't do anything because it's that, that overload, and their brain just kind of shuts down, and they just don't do anything. So you end up going and you spent all this money and this time away from your business and your family to attend a trade show, and then you don't go back and learn or implement anything you've learned. So another tip that I would give people is, like, when you're at imaging, you can't wait to come back. Or if you're on the flight home, you could do it then too. But typically what I like to tell people to do is, at the end of every day, making a couple of bullet points of, here are the top 3 things that I learned today that I want to try and find a way to implement in my studio. And then at the end of the time there, look at all of those and then pick 3 of things that you're going to implement, and by when. So is this something you're going to implement right away? Is it something you're going to implement within the next quarter? Is it something you're going to implement within the next half year or within the next year? And then roadmap a plan to get it done. Because it's great to have all these wonderful ideas you come back with, but if you don't create action items around them and due dates to get them done, you'll end up at Imaging USA 2025 thinking, that's a really good idea. I had it last year, but I didn't do anything with it. And so you can really see people that move their studios forward when they take action on the ideas that they have. And you can only do that if you make a list with deadlines and then create plans around them. So that would be the other biggest thing. And then the third tip that I wanted to give is, it can be very overwhelming and very mind-blowing sometimes when you go and hear very inspirational speakers speak. And you come back and you're like, I want to do everything they do. Brad was so amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm going to completely change my studio to everything Brad is doing because I want to be just like Brad. I'm his top fan. And so, the problem with that is what Brad has worked on his why, and Brad knows what his studio purpose is and the difference and the transformations in the lives that they're making. And it's probably completely different to yours, completely different to your why, completely different to your clients, to the avatar you've been working to service, to the people that you want to transform the lives of. And so you can call it a celery test, a litmus test, whatever you want to call it. When you get truly inspired by somebody, or you hear someone who's just, even if you're not inspired, but they tell you have to do it this way if you want to make money, because you'll get that too at these conferences. Like, if you don't do it my way, you're not going to have a successful studio. You need to sit and you need to be like, does this make sense for me? Does this align with my why? Will this transform the lives of my clients? Can I actually implement this with a passion? And if the answer is yes, then great. Add it to your bullet list and work on ways that you can get those ideas implemented in your studio. If the answer is no, toss it. Like, you don't have to be another studio to be successful. You just have to be the best version of you and understand the difference maker that you can be. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in our revolution here. But those are my top 3 tricks, Ronan. Go in understanding why you want to be there. Talk to people and actually brainstorm out ideas. Make a list of the ideas you want to implement. Ooh, actually it was 4. And then only implement things that are relevant for your studio and for you. Don't go implementing things that are going to actually negatively affect you, because it's not something you have a passion for.
So they're all great tips, Janine, but I have a question, and I'm not going to direct this at any one of you. It's up to you guys to decide, right? Because you've sort of alluded to it a little bit, Janine, in that everybody, if I go to multiple speakers, right, I'm probably going to think that some of what I'm hearing is conflicting. How do I decide what's right and what's wrong, other than just putting it through my lens of a difference maker and my business? Like, how, if I feel I'm getting conflicting information, I'm not saying this will happen, but let's say it does for some reason. And the reason why I know this is I've had people approach me and say, well, this educator said this and that educator said that and that educator said the other. Like, who's right? How do I take all that information when it appears as if it's conflicting and make something from it and decide who should I actually listen to and look at within a lens to say, yes, that's probably the right thing to do?
In the UK, look at Company's House, but I won't go there.
I have 2 answers for you, Ronan. The first answer is I'm pulling faces, because the first answer is you have to take a big step back. You have to. Or what I would do is I would take a big step back. I would write down all the information that I've been told. So I could visualize it. I'm a very visual person. I'd want to visualize all the information. And then I would do some slight soul searching and try and listen to the advice that I felt that most resonated with me. And then I would go down that path. Because you'll get a lot of advice. If you're not going to know any better, then if you love something, then really that's the thing that you should try and do. Even though it might be absolutely terrible, but you don't know. But if you've got 5 options and you don't know and they're all conflicting, do the thing that you can take a step back from, look at it all, and choose the thing that you're most excited about, or it can speak to your why. But a lot of people don't know what their why is yet. So if you don't know what your why is, then do the thing that you get excited about, you're most passionate about. Is my advice. And then my second answer to that question is ask Ronan.
1-800-ASK Ronan.
That's generally what I do. Like, yeah, 1-800-ASK Ronan. That's the advice, because that's the advice I would do without access to Ronan. Now I have access to Ronan. I just ask Ronan. It's great. And if you would like to ask Ronan and don't know how to ask Ronan, ask Brad. I'll charge you, and I'll ask Ronan for you. I have near unfiltered access to Ronan. So if you have any really burning Ronan questions,
man, I thought Brad was going to use it as a segue to our trade show booth and be like, you could come to the booth and ask Ronan.
No. Play Brad. And I will ask Ronan. If you want free access to Ronan, then come to the trade show booth. But more than likely, Ronan will not be on trade show booth because Ronan's a very important person. He's a VIP. He's on the board of directors for PPA. So he'll be swaddling off looking. You'll notice Ronan. You'll see him. You'll spot him a mile away because he'll look fantastic. He'll be on brand. And he'll be swanning all over the place, having important meetings. It's us mere peasants that will be on stand, toiling away. So if you'd like to meet myself, Jonathan, Janine, and if you're really, really lucky, Ronan and Ryle, that you need to come to the stand.
You're so funny, Brad. You're so funny.
I'm trying to be. But the good answers, though. I think the good answers. The legit answers.
All right.
So yes, we are expecting many of you to come to the booth and see us. And guys, if I can make the ultimate sacrifice of flying from Ireland to Kentucky to share a room with Brad for a week, you can come see us on booth 1219. Come on, like, I'm making the huge sacrifice here. Just to see you.
The thing. It's the thing I'm most looking forward to.
Oh my God.
I've legitimately ordered things. I've bought things to pack in my suitcase just to share a room with Jonathan. It's great. I'm forward planning all the jokes I have. I'm prepping.
Buy more snacks.
I'm prepping. I'm a man who plans. And the minute I found out, the minute I found out that I shared a room with Jonathan, it's like, right, what do I want to do? What do I want to achieve?
Janine, do you want to swap? I'll share with Tim.
I had a list, and I can't wait.
I'm very afraid there's going to be a podcast on this, I feel, after Imaging USA.
The Imaging USA wrap-up. Brad and Jonathan. The do not tell list.
Oh, God.
You'll have a great time. You'll have the time of your life, I promise you.
Well, this podcast took a fun turn.
No, but, I'm very excited to share in a room with Jonathan. We have a very good friendship. But the thing I'm most excited about, because we've been doing this podcast for a year now. This is episode 53. Is that right? Yeah, episode 53.
54.
54. Lots. Like we're doing it a lot. We've rambled into the void, but we know it's not the void because we know thousands of people listen to this. So thank you. Really thank you for listening to us. We really, really appreciate it. And it's actually...
Brad, 23,000 downloads in a year. That's not bad.
I know. It's fantastic. It's incredible. That puts us in some of the top podcasts in the world, not just photography. When you look at viewership as a whole. So it's wonderful. Thank you. It far exceeded our expectations for who would listen to us, especially on a regular basis. But no, I'm excited that if you are going to Imaging, we're on booth. Booth is B1219. Is that correct?
1219, Brett.
1219. Booth 1219. We're on booth 1219. It'll be wonderful to see you. That's the thing I'm most excited about is to see people that have been listening to us and just talk podcast. Be great to know what your favorite episode is. What you've changed in business. What's happened because you've listened to us for weirdos. I'm excited about that.
And if you wear a shirt with Brad's face on it, you get bonus points.
What was that, sorry?
I said if you wear a shirt with Brad's face on it, you get bonus points.
I'd be very impressed.
I was going to say he'll give you free access to Ronan if you show up wearing a shirt with his face on it.
So here is an important point when you're coming to the booth 1219. So the booth is shared between 3XM, and you might be looking for the fully booked photographer, but it's not branded as the fully booked photographer. It's branded as the Difference Maker Revolution. So in case, Jonathan, nobody has heard our last podcast, just give a 60-second blast on what does the Difference Maker Revolution mean.
60 seconds, really?
Tick, tick, tick.
Well, okay. Tick tock, tick tock. As you can see, we're lots of fun. So, The Difference Maker Revolution effectively is the coming together of Steve Saporito from Steve Saporito Education and Janine, Brad, Ronan, Jonathan from the Fully Booked Photographer team. We're coming together to bring you guys the Difference Maker Revolution. And for us, we believe that the Difference Maker Revolution is about a fight for the soul of our industry, to quote Brad. And our mission is to help you realize that when you bring on a difference maker lens and you start to realize that your role as a photographer is to be a difference maker to your clients' lives, then your business will thrive.
All right. That was slightly more than 60 seconds, but very close. Good job. Good job. So, Janine, what are you most excited about this imaging? I know you've told us how to prepare, but what are you most excited about?
I'm really excited about launching the Difference Maker Revolution. I'm excited to have the conversations with photographers about what it actually means and how this should be very exciting to them when they think about the future of their business. So I'm excited for the conversations. I'm excited to be with you guys. You know that. I always have my FOMO because I'm stuck over on this side of the pond and you guys always get together and, you know, have fun without me. So I'm excited to be all together. So that way we get to hang out and see those are members from the Fully Booked Photographer and from Steve's group as well. It's just, you know, we see each other every day, but we see our members weekly. But it's still not the same as hugging somebody in person and, you know, poking at them in person and sharing a meal together. And that's what I have always gotten to imaging from my friends. That's, you know, I get inspired and I come away with things too, but connecting with and building on lifelong friendships is always one of my key reasons for going to imaging. And so I'm looking forward to continuing to do that this year.
Great stuff. And I'm really excited because I'm doing a pre-con this year. Did you guys know that?
Are you really? I hadn't heard.
Yeah, you're funny. So yeah, really, really excited about that on the Saturday. The pre-con is on. So if you are going to Imaging USA and you haven't yet decided what pre-con to go and visit, I would love to see you there. Love to see you there.
And if you wear a shirt with Ronan's face on it, he'll give you free access to himself.
What are you going to be talking about, Ron?
So that'll save some money for your Imaging USA budget. You won't have to pay Brad to ask me the questions. So
there you go.
Yeah, so come to the pre-con. It'll be a lot cheaper than what Brad might charge you for it.
I value your time, Ronan, so it's definitely well worth it. What is your pre-con about, Ronan?
That's a great question, Brad. And it's interesting because, you know, the Fully Booked Photographer, we talk a lot about marketing, don't we? And the title of it is The Fastest Way to Make a Profit is to Make a Difference. And the funny thing is, I've led with the wrong thing on it on purpose. I've led with where most people or most photographers think it's about and think about what success is and think about success is about the figure and the average order value and all that. So really, it should really say that to create a thriving business, you make a difference and the profit will come. But I knew if I led with that, that it wouldn't have the same impact. So,
oh, no, it's not sexy.
It's not sexy. Exactly. So that's what it's about. It's about understanding what it is to be a difference maker. It's about understanding how you change your mindset to make your business about your client and not about yourself. It's about understanding, once you've discovered that, who you want to serve. Often dressed up in the words of ideal client avatar, right? But it's who do you want to serve really, and what do they need from your transformational experiences, and what do you need to do to deliver that transformation experience for your client? And then it's about understanding how do you, Brad, I love this word, but how do you build a transformational brand and a purposeful brand around that? And then how do you market that And then how do you make sure that when you do make a difference to your client and you do deliver a transformational experience and give them permission to invest up to what they want to invest with, to feel the way you've made them feel, that you have to open the aperture to allow them to do that. And you have to understand the numbers that are going to help you make a profit to be a sustainable business. And often people say, but Ronan, being purposeful and making a profit, surely they're conflicting, right? But they're not. And here's why they're not. Even not for profits like PPA, have to make money, not to distribute to shareholders, but have to make money to ensure they become a sustainable not-for-profit that can continue into the decades ahead to make a difference to their members, right? And why is that important? Because when you make a profit, it allows you to amplify the difference maker you are. Because if you're constantly worrying about how am I going to pay myself this week, and you're constantly worrying about how am I going to pay the rent of my studio, and you're constantly worrying about how am I going to pay my staff, you can't be a difference maker, can you? You can't be focused on your client. So profit is a necessity to be a difference maker. But the best way to make a profit is to become a difference maker. So that's the journey we have to go on. We have to refocus on being a difference maker, refocus on delivering transformation experience to our clients. The profit will look after itself, and that will help you amplify the difference maker you are, because you won't have to worry about putting food on the table. You won't have to worry about paying your rent. You won't have to worry about bringing your family or yourself on a holiday or a vacation. You won't have to worry about the financial piece. And when you don't have to worry about that, you can be a better difference maker. And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy of continuous difference maker amplification. And that's what it's about. Who wants to go?
I want to go.
I'd love to. When is it, Ronan? We know it's at Imaging.
It's at Imaging on the Saturday, so all the pre-cons are on the Saturday. So it's on the morning of the Saturday. I know you're going to ask me the exact time, Brad, and I can't remember the exact time. I think it's 10 a.m. till 1 is what I want to say off the top of my head. So it is. It's 10 a.m. to 1.
Oh, so if we go, then we don't have to work on setup for the trade show booth.
And
we're not allowed to work on set up a trade show booth anyway. We'd be jumping a band from that.
So you do have to register. So you can go to Imaging USA. You can search speakers, search Ronan Royal, and you'll see it, and you can pre-book it. And I'd love to see you there. And we're going to have, the important thing about it is, like, what we talk about is, serious is the wrong word, but it's important, right? That the industry, as Brad would say, rediscovers its soul and rediscovers why we're really on this planet, and rediscover how we truly add value to people and to society as a whole. And you know, we've just got to do that. We've just got to do that. So do sign up, come, say hello, and even if you don't come to the pre-con and you see me, please stop, say hello. You know, like, I'm just a person like everyone else. That's all I am. So stop me, say hello, we'll have a conversation. And if I can help you in any way I can, I will. I promise you that.
He's very normal. Trust me, I live with him.
He is slightly taller than I expected when I first met him.
Well, you're far from normal. But he is a regular person.
Yeah,
he puts his pants one leg at a time.
Yeah, exactly. But
we are all
lovingly weird,
different in our own ways. But I suppose sometimes, you know, even I hear it from fellow board members. They say, you know, it's amazing people's attitude change. They think they can't talk to me. We're just normal people. Like, just stop any of us and have a conversation. We're nobody special. We're just trying to make a difference to people. And that's all we're doing. And you're the same. You're trying to make a difference to your work and make a difference to your family and your friends by getting paid what you deserve to for the vital job you do. So we're all no different. We're all no different. We're just people. We're just people.
I've just messaged him to say I'm swapping rooms with Janine. She's staying with Brad. I'm staying with him. He said that's fine.
Oh, that's good. We'll have a good time. Yeah.
We'll have a good time.
Any presents you bought for Jonathan, you can bring for me.
Tim is listening. Tim is listening to this recording, and he's just messaging me to say, "There's no way Janine's having a good time with Brad. That is not happening. That is not happening." Sorry, Jonathan. Deal is off. I'm reversing it. We have to get Tim to listen to this podcast.
We know Jonathan's looking forward to it.
He's looking forward to it, really.
Don't worry, Jonathan. We'll be there bright and early at 8 a.m. asking for breakfast. So, we'll save you.
Thank you.
Better be. They go to the trade show morning.
Neither will I.
Early. Yes, you didn't know? They start at 9 a.m.
No, really, they have to change the time.
What?
I'm saying.
They don't.
Gosh. You guys, take a joke.
No, it used to be 10. It used to be like 10.
God. I literally had a mini panic attack there.
I know, yeah, literally. I was like, no.
It was funny. The utter panic was just instilled on Brad's and Jonathan's face together. I know some people are listening, but if you watch this on YouTube, it's worth just tuning in at 26 minutes and 2 seconds into it just to see Brad and Jonathan's face of panic. Oh, that was great. That was great. So, what else do people need to know about Imaging USA? Or conferences or trade shows in general?
Come to booth 1219 at Imaging USA. And go to Ronan's pre-con on Saturday morning at time to be disclosed, but we believe 10 a.m.
But I think it is important to tell people we do have a gift for everyone who visits our booth.
Oh, we do?
We do. So make sure for the most incredible free gift ever that you visit our booth, because we are going to gift you the first step in becoming a difference maker. So if you want to know more, you don't have to pay Brad for access to this. We are going to gift you this. Every single person who comes to our booth, we're going to gift you the first step you need to take to transform yourself and your business to become a difference maker. So don't forget to come to the booth. Don't forget to ask for the free gift if we don't tell you up front. And don't pay Brad anything for it. Just make sure you don't. That's vitally important. Being the entrepreneur he is, he may try to say, yeah, sure, you slip me a $5, you can have this gift. But yeah, don't fall for that. So on that note, guys, I'm excited to spend time with you guys in person at Imaging USA. I'm delighted to meet everybody at Imaging USA. I'm looking forward to the fun we're going to have. We will be at the opening party. We will be there mingling. Make sure you say hello to any of us when you see us, because that would make our day. So please do. So we'll see you then. Bye for now from me.
Bye, everyone.
See you later, guys.
See you later, everybody.